Hi there, welcome to Schneider Electric Connected House at Le Hive. How about starting first, having a cup of coffee before jumping into some questions? To start with a very basic and somehow complex one, what can the food and beverage industry do today to build a more resilient and sustainable value chain? Let me invite Mike Jamieson to the party. Mike has been directly in touch with many of you and your peers during the last year, and I would like to first know directly from him what's in the top of mind of a food and beverage company executive today. Hello Mike, what are the main concerns?
Hi Mara-Lydia, first of all, lovely location, far better than my lockdown cave that you say here. Sorry not to be there with you, but I will say I accept your cup of coffee. Thank you for that. Indeed, this pandemic has exposed the fragility of the global food system, but it's also brought the opportunity to accelerate the drive towards a zero-emission future. As we know, food continues to be one of the primary drivers of climate change. So just what are the big stakeholders within food and beverage doing about this? Let me provide some examples. Starting off with the European Union and their farm to fork strategy, which is focused on reducing food loss and waste, while at the same time reducing emissions associated with production. Pretty important, this initiative, when you consider not only does 30% of food get wasted globally, but the whole value chain accounts for 1/4 of the world's greenhouse gas emissions. Shifting to the end consumers, the customers, us. We're challenging the industry and pushing for more transparency about the sourcing of ingredients, or demanding to get more visibility into the way products have been processed. Today, the conscientious consumer is the primary driver in a consumer-driven supply chain. So what are the food and beverage companies telling us here at Schneider Electric? They are moving their highly integrated and well-established supply chains from global to a more regionalized model to address the local markets more effectively, whilst removing potential global supply and demand volatility. These movements are highlighting some organizational challenges within companies, whether it be the required roles and responsibilities to lead these transformations, the skill set of the workforce, the localization of key suppliers, as well as the in-depth knowledge needed for compliance with the local regulation, and at all times to do this with great cost efficiency as well. As a result of all of this, we are now seeing a new mentality emerge within food and beverage business, one where real ambition exists now to accelerate the push towards digital transformation. I think all of us have seen that during the past 12-month period, the early adopters of digital technologies found themselves in a much better position to pivot and remain resilient and competitive during these unprecedented times. All of this sounds like a wake-up call. So yes, Mara-Lydia, you have put the right question on the table. There is a clear call for action to create a net zero carbon world and bridge progress and sustainability for all. As our world recovers, we must build or upgrade smarter and greener now. And I'm pretty sure we can provide some help here.
This is definitely a wake-up call, Mike. And also for us, because it is our priority today to provide off-the-shelf technologies and examples to face these challenges. Behind this simple bottle of milk, there is an integrated production process, including milk collection, pasteurization, and filling. It also implies to manage the cold chain across the entire value chain, from the farm to the plant, and from the plant to the retailer. In other terms, this is about bringing power and process automation together to reduce operating costs, carbon emissions, and resources consumption. Delicious. Can you imagine digital solution based on predictive analytics, helping to keep the coffee production plant running without unplanned stoppage and also ensuring safe working conditions for their people. Let me ask our experts. Hello, Fanny. Can you tell us how a company like Nestlé is managing it?
Like most manufacturers in food and beverage, you are facing electrical and fire risks that expose your manufacturing plants to unplanned downtime, aging infrastructures, sometimes severe environmental conditions, staff shortages and lack of qualified people, and you are also facing the challenge of digitization with an increasingly tight budget. Let's see how Nestlé Mexico uses EcoStruxure Asset Advisor to assure the continuous operation of their coffee plants while providing safe working conditions to their people. Over the last 3 years, Nestlé has received a dozen recommendations from our experts of the Connected Services Hub related to their transformers, to their medium voltage or low voltage equipment. Thanks to these alerts, they have been able to react and avoid 3 unplanned stoppages that could have cost up to $450,000 each. In addition, they have also corrected a serious temperature anomaly, thus avoiding the loss of up to 2 years of lifetime for their transformers. Today, we launch EcoStruxure Service Plan. From essential support to the most advanced expertise, EcoStruxure Service Plan is a set of tailored contracts that combine the power of our EcoStruxure platform with remote consultancy and on-site and dynamic maintenance.
Thank you, Fanny. We all know that an integrated lifecycle management will allow us to reach real efficiency. But how can we use analytics if we do not make sure first that everything is connected from the end point of the shop floor to the control room into the cloud? Only then your installation will become fully transparent for everybody. And when you connect everything, data flows and it starts to become critical. Hello, Paolo. How can we help in this?
Latency is often an enemy. Speed and reliability are paramount, and in many cases, the data must be readily available locally. As a result, we are seeing more IT gear on the shop floor, such as industrial edge computing solution. The IT and OT are now integrally connected. It's like the perfect cheese and wine pairing. Speaking of wine, let me tell you about customer Howas that reimaged its factory quality assurance process. Last year, we worked with one of our Allianz system integrator in France to supply an IT/OT solution for a leading producer of luxury sparkling wine. The fully automated production line was equipped with a quality control station that used high-definition video cameras to check in real time the level of wine in the bottle and the quality and position of the label. This is a very powerful, data-hungry IoT application that requires IT equipment that was able to run real-time analysis software and process the huge amount of data generated by every single camera shot. Due to the need of extremely low response time to avoid creating a bottleneck and thus reduce production, a cloud-based solution was excluded. But like in many other new plants, the IT space was very limited and there was no dedicated IT room available. We deployed an EcoStruxure microcenter solution that was installed close to the production line. The solution produced very low latency, so there is no delay in production, and delivered the same level of protection offered by a standard data center. The customer was so pleased with our solution that we are now working with them to deploy similar use cases across their other manufacturing sites.
Now it is time to take another refreshment here. Are you in the mood for a cold beer? Hello, Axel. An estimation says that a quarter of the worldwide beer production is done on systems running on ProLite's BrewMax solution. So nearly every one of us has most probably enjoyed already a beer brewed with this system. How do you explain the big success of the solution in the food and beverage industry?
So thanks for this question. And I think it's always not so easy to explain a big success, but I think in the case of ProLite, we have here very clear points that are leading to this success in the brewing industry and in the consumer packaged goods industry in general. And the biggest reason for their success is actually that this is a system that is designed by technologists for technologists. This means that the people who have designed, created, and are delivering the system are really having an understanding of what is happening in their industry. So this big domain expertise is built into the system. So it's not comparable with the standard systems like SCADA systems that we know on the market, which are more an empty shell, where the domain knowledge needs to be built in during the project execution. A big part of this domain expertise is already part of the system and can be just simply adjusted during the project to address customer requirements. So for this, ProLeiT has employed more than 70 industry experts. So these are food technologists, process technologists, and of course, brewmasters when we are talking about BrewMax. And these experts, they are working then in the different areas in the company. So this is on the one hand, of course, in the R&D that has developed this solution over the last 34 years and has made it the market leading solutions. On the other hand, also in the area of the consultancy of the customer, discussing with him his requirements and his needs, because these experts are also members of the sales team. And then finally, an important point, they are also part of the delivery teams. So ProLeiT can deliver the projects that are fulfilling the requirements of the customers and can do the optimization of the processes together with the customers.
Thank you, Axel. Let's deep dive a little bit into the cleaning process. Did you know that a plant might spend nearly 20% and more of the overall utilities resources with cleaning processes? I want to invite you to see how Nestlé Waters leverage digital to empower their employees with an easy-to-configure and install diagnostic tool to reduce their production line downtime for cleaning by 20%.
Chez Nestlé Waters, nous sommes convaincus que l'eau donne vie au monde. Dans le sud de la France se trouve la source originelle du Perrier, d'où est extraite la célèbre eau naturelle gazéfiée. Je suis Bernard Flores, responsable département process industriel, Nestlé Waters, source Perrier. Le process de nettoyage mis en place est l'un de nos plus gros challenges. Les normes de sécurité et réglementation alimentaire doivent être respectées, et cela exige une consommation d'eau et de produits chimiques très importante. Aujourd'hui, Schneider Electric nous accompagne dans l'amélioration continue de nos process et opérations de nettoyage en place, avec une solution métier tout en un, incluant le diagnostic de fonctionnement, l'aide à la maintenance, la traçabilité et l'aide au suivi de la qualité, ainsi que le benchmark de l'ensemble des consommations et le suivi des dérives. L'excellente collaboration avec Schneider Electric nous permet de trouver et de mettre en œuvre des solutions qui permettent de gagner du temps, tout en améliorant la qualité et la pérennité de nos infrastructures. C'est aussi une amélioration en termes de qualité et d'efficacité. Elle permet par exemple d'optimiser la récupération de la soude et de l'eau de rinçage lors des cycles de nettoyage en place. Grâce à la solution et à l'architecture EcoStruxure Schneider Electric, le temps d'analyse et donc de réparation est considérablement réduit. Nous pouvons désormais réduire de 20% le temps d'immobilisation de nos lignes de production. Grâce aux machines NEP équipées de ce logiciel, nous pouvons vérifier que le nettoyage s'est fait correctement, simplifier les diagnostics, puis recevoir des informations détaillées des cycles de nettoyage. Et enfin, créer facilement des rapports de qualité, de fonctionnement et d'opération. Et que c'est en travaillant main dans la main avec des solutions éco-responsables comme celle de Schneider Electric que nous mettrons en place les standards de demain.
Digital solutions are enabling the transformation of manufacturing operations, not only cleaning processes. Let's check with Keith some examples of how AVEVA's solutions bring some of these advanced visibility capabilities to close the loop with their supply chain and be more agile to prepare for the future.
So I'd like to start talking a bit about Danone. Danone, obviously one of the world's largest food and beverage brands and manufacturers. And these are really what they see as their 5 game changers for transformation in their business. And you'll notice that it starts with demand and data-driven supply chain, planning and scheduling, if you will, coming down into digital operations. That's where we work with them to deliver what they called their Project Hawk, which is a global MES program for their specialized nutrition plants. And this program was about creating a core model, a template, designing a set of best practices, if you will, to be applied across their business, and then rolling this out over 25 sites over the next few years. The template is designed around quality, finance, again, this tying together of supply chain and manufacturing systems, production, consistent measurement of performance, and really providing a foundation for that digital transformation within their plants.
We all know that end consumers are demanding brands to provide more visibility into their whole supply chain, from the ingredient suppliers to the supermarket where they buy. Who has not used an app to scan the product and know more about it? Supply chain managers are putting the right spotlight into end-to-end traceability topic as part of their digital transformation journey. Hello, Antonio. How can we support the industry in building a credible supply chain?
To better understand how digital solutions can help end-to-end traceability, I want to bring you the story of a bottle of champagne. Let's start with the vineyard, the beginning of the story. The remote locations are monitored through IoT sensors, collecting data from the soil. Information about the suppliers and the sourcing of the raw materials are collected as well, ensuring the right transparency of data before reaching the factory. In the plant, the production starts. Digital manufacturing solutions allow the visibility of the full process, getting the best insights about the production performance, how the cleaning process has been done, and so on. At the end of the production line, a unique code is printed in each bottle, box, and pallet to track and trace them along the downstream supply chain, building a real digital passport which will contain all the product and production information. To manage product data between manufacturers and retailers, the Product Information Management solution is the right tool. It allows to create a consistent and trustworthy digital catalog of each stock keeping unit in compliance with GS1 standards. Finally, the complete journey is centralized in a unique solution, the end-to-end module, to get the full control and visibility of all the data, including the carbon footprint for each bottle. So, any issue affecting a single bottle will be managed in a short time, no matter where it happens along the supply chain, saving money, protecting the brand reputation, and more importantly, ensuring the consumer health.
Right, Antonio. Traceability links with sustainability. We see more ranking and scoring on products nowadays related to environment and carbon footprint. And as we see companies taking bold commitments, especially when it comes to climate action. For this reason, it is imperative to measure, monitor, and manage energy efficiency, both at plant level and corporate level, to show progress while delivering cost savings. Let's see how companies like Agrial, one of the French largest farming and food cooperative, turn to Schneider Electric to implement their energy efficiency program.
La démarche d'efficacité énergétique au sein d'Agrial est récente. Nous avons constaté que l'évolution tant de la fiscalité que du transport, donc des coûts annexes aux énergies, était de plus en plus conséquente et que si nous voulions véritablement initier une démarche de baisse de nos dépenses énergétiques, il fallait travailler sur l'efficacité énergétique. La méthode proposée par Schneider Electric est une méthode très pragmatique. Dans un premier temps, nous faisons ce qu'on appelle une traversée de site pour qualifier le site et voir si véritablement il y a un potentiel de réduction de consommation énergétique sur ce site.
Behind the products we buy, there are great teams working to make production efficient and ensure their quality. And how can we support food and beverage companies to make the personal planning and scheduling more efficient? We can't do this alone here. We work with partners all around the world, integrating their solution into our EcoStruxure platform. Synthetis, a software company located in Belgium, is a long-time partner of Schneider Electric. Hello, Nicolas. How are you helping to ensure that the right people is at the right production point to make this yogurt?
Love your question, Marie-Lydia. Thank you. As most of you know, the organization of production is based on the scheduling of production orders, on resources, production lines, preparation zones, while human resources are mostly focused in trainings, skills management, tough working environment, high temperature, heavy load tasks to perform. So clearly, the most pressing demand comes from the production department for the digitalization of personnel planning. For instance, one of the top 5 European chocolate manufacturers needed to manage a lot of Excel sheets and a complex skills matrix to obtain to get their weekly planning. The good news is that PeopleForce come to help manufacturers improving the management of production personnel. This is exactly, in fact, what our software does. Our solution has been relevant also for premium beverage manufacturers with over 100 people in the plant, as they are facing seasonality, a lot of qualification and certification, and extensive use of temporary labor. PeopleForce solution help to share real, tangible field information with team leaders, production managers, cost controllers, human resources managers. Saving time, thanks to the automatic assignment, is another key benefit. The customer was able to save the equivalent of 2 full-time employees. They are no less dependent on dedicated and specialized planner. It's not a chaos when he or she is absent. By the end of the day, the solution supported the customer in generating a 5% OEE increase, just by having the right person in the right place. Thanks to a skills matrix, without any planning errors, avoiding production line stop. So in conclusion, PeopleForce solution is used by medium size to large factories, increases performance and adding flexibility by making the best use of staff. We assign them to workstations to meet scheduling constraints and taking into account all the different plant requirements. The solution enables a better use of skills, avoiding the usage of temporary labor, maintaining workforce polyvalence. Also, note that each PeopleForce client is autonomous in its configuration. And with a 15-minute demo, you're gonna be able to feel it.
These have been only a selection of existing digital solutions available today for building a more resilient and sustainable supply chain. Hey Mike, maybe it is the right time to have a glass of Antonio's champagne to celebrate so good digital opportunities in front of us.
Impressive examples and testimonials without a doubt. And thank you for bringing these delicious little tidbits to us, Marie-Lydia. All of this confirms the need of being agile and resilient in today's digital age, and to become sustainable and more competitive, and to deliver greater value to our employees and our customers. And we can confirm this from our own experience as well, as we are also a manufacturer, and at Schneider Electric, as you say, we drink our own champagne. Finally, digital transformation is not possible without a strong collaboration with suppliers, partners, and our customers. Partnering with the right technology companies, solutions developers, system integrators is key for a reliable, quick, and efficient implementation of digital solutions. Now is the time to accelerate the digital transformation. It is vital for competing in this new market and to ensure food is produced in a sustainable manner, and to be responsible and do it in alignment with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Leveraging our own experience, we want to be your technological partner to make the food and beverage industry more sustainable and resilient with digital technologies. I'd like to thank you all for your attendance at this session. And I hope you've garnered from this that we really want to be working with you as a partner to help with your digital transformation. So I'll leave you with one thought, and that is, let's talk.